How's it going, everyone? In this video, we have a brief update on God of War Ragnarok and its release window. A lot of discussion around Skate 4 after some pre-alpha footage, and now we have a little bit more of an update regarding the game and what's going to be featured. And a long-running free-to-play MMORPG is officially shutting down very soon. We'll talk about that at the end of this video. But first up, God of War Ragnarok is still scheduled for 2022, tentatively. Always think of things tentatively, because you never know what the hell could happen. But Bruno Velasquez, animation director over at Sony Santa Monica Studio, just clarified Ragnarok is coming this year. That's all we need. I think that got people, pretty happy based on the fact that there's been a lot of delays in gaming recently, and you just never know what's gonna happen. I do fully expect God of War Ragnarok to be released this year. I mean, if you guys don't remember, the game was initially scheduled for a 2021 release window, and it's been delayed into 2022. So let's say it was initially internally scheduled for a 2021 release window, and it was fall of 2021. Well, if it comes out fall of 2022, that's a 1 year long delay from its initial release window. That's already a significant enough delay, and I don't think the game's gonna get delayed any further beyond that. That may be, optimistic thinking, especially from me when I always come at things from a release date standpoint, very pessimistic. Kingdom Hearts 4, I don't think we're gonna get that until like 2028, but in the case of God of War Ragnarok, I really do believe the game is gonna be out this year. And I know some people were like, well, we haven't seen any new gameplay. Where's the new gameplay for the game? Do we really need to see any more gameplay for the game, guys? We got a significant gameplay trailer. Sure, maybe a little bit lengthier of a demo, 10 to 15 minutes long. That's fine. I'd like to see that, sure. Is that gonna get me any more excited for the game? Probably not. I'm already pretty excited for the game. I think the majority of people are pretty excited for the game, so let's just let it rip. I'm sure it's gonna be a very, very good game, given the track record of Santa Monica, given how good God of War 2018 was. This is one game where I'm not really worried about how it's gonna turn out, and it's interesting that Santa Monica is going the route of, hey, this is the last game in the Norse mythology saga for God of War Ragnarok, or at least I believe that's still the case, just because of these lengthy development cycles for these games, 4.5 years each game. Maybe they want to move on to something else after this, I don't know exactly, but you would think there's a lot to cover in that Norse mythology, still based on what we saw in God of War 2018. I would have thought for sure there would have been a third game, but we'll see how it unfolds in Ragnarok. Santa Monica's a studio I trust, and I'm sure they're gonna do a pretty good job. And yeah, 2022 release window makes all the sense in the world. I would probably peg it around September, October. Generally speaking, usually Sony does have a big release every September, at least in my recollection. I mean, I just remember Spider-Man came out in September. Maybe that's just what I'm basing it off of, but nonetheless, yeah, God of War, I don't think you have to be that worried about it, but yeah, again, this is more optimistic than I usually am, but the game already saw around a 1 year delay. If we do take into account that initially it was a 2021 release window, it's probably going to be fall of this year. Is it really going to see another 6-month delay? I find that hard to believe, but maybe a slight chance. Anything can happen. But, alright, moving on from that, Skate 4! Boy, oh boy, a lot of talk surrounding this game. Alright, first up, if you guys saw, the leaked pre-alpha footage, guys, stop having, a tantrum over that if you were. Maybe I'm just on Twitter way too much, Sometimes I see these tweets and I'm like, bro, it's pre-alpha footage. What do you expect? Do you expect this game to look like it's running on an RTX 3090 in pre-alpha? And do you expect everything to be done? No, they're trying to get the feel of the game down. Don't worry too much about that. I just saw some wild hot takes as far as that was concerned. Hopefully, some things will be tempered as far as that's the case. And again, it was leaked footage, so take it for what you will. Alright, now let's talk about what Jeff Grubb also discussed. Talking a little bit on the John Bomb Show Grub Snacks, he noted, I've heard from the people who have played it that it is very fun. People seem to be very impressed with the way it feels, and that is the big takeaway. There's gonna be some modern stuff, specifically the kind of stuff you might see in a Forza game or a lot of modern online multiplayer games, where you're gonna have a lot of customization options for your character, a lot of skins for your board, things like that. How that's gonna be monetized, hopefully it isn't too crazy, but We'll see how that turns out. And there's going to be a lot of user-generated content where you can wrap up your board with some crazy stuff that the community has made. They're going to really try to emphasize that stuff, and where that stuff should shine is the other side of this, which is this sort of this collaborative online free skate mode that does sound very good. This is a mode where you are hanging out with your friends or anyone else who is going to hop onto the server, and then anyone in the server can say, hey, does anyone want to try and lay down some tricks with me over here? Looks to be like a sandbox free play mode. I'm all down for that. Skate is a franchise I think a lot of people have wanted to see make a comeback. Like, I'm not a skateboarding guy at all. Played the Tony Hawk titles back in the day for sure, but Skate 2, I think for us, for a lot of us, is the game that we got super into. I had a friend that was super into skateboarding in general. He brought over a copy of Skate 2 to my crib back when it came out. I want to say February of like 2009, and yeah, the rest was history. I put so much time into Skate 2, it was disgusting. And Skate 3 I played the hell out of as well, and then the franchise just went to the wayside. And you've seen a couple other skateboarding titles, you know, try to make some impact. You had Session, you had some of these other games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake, of course, was quite good, but I think everybody wants to see a new skate game, and I'm really hoping for the best out of Skate 4. Is this a game that I think we're going to see anytime in the near future? Probably not. I would say that this is probably going to be like a 2023 title, which, in all honesty, bro, years are going by so fast at this point that 2023 is going to be here before you know it, and then the game's going to get a full-on gameplay reveal trailer, and hopefully it turns out really well, because this is one that I think can be a commercial slam dunk as long as the game is of quality. Just because Skate is one of those IPs that harbors so much nostalgia, but at the same time, that market is wide open for a high-quality game to come through, offer a compelling roster of gameplay options, and I think it'll do very, very well. But moving on from that, one MMORPG that is seemingly not doing all too well, that is shutting down soon, is the free-to-play Terra. Now, Terra initially came out back in 2011, and back in those days, bro, I was dumb as a rock, and I was like, yo, Terra's gonna be the game, it's gonna take down World of Warcraft, here we go. Yeah, needless to say, that never happened, but Terra did have a solid decade-long run, and it ultimately came out on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, playable on next generation platforms as well, and the official statement about the game shutting down is noting this. After much consideration, the team in South Korea have come to the conclusion that they are no longer able to offer you the exciting and satisfying content you deserve. As the last remaining publisher of Terra, it is with a heavy heart that we must respect Bluehole's decision, and will also have to shut down the game. The Terra servers will be switched off at 10 a.m. CEST, 4 a.m. Eastern Time on June 30th, 2022. Until then, we'll be running some permanent events in the hope that you'll at least be able to enjoy these final moments in Arborea. Little bit of a bummer there. I mean, it's always a bummer when you see these long-running games that do have to shut down, because at the end of the day, if the community has dwindled down very low, there's still people playing the game, and people that probably got pretty invested into the game. I mean, if you've been playing this games like this for years and years and they have to shut down, it's always going to be a little bit unfortunate, but that is the reality of the situation. You know, it's a game that I played on PC briefly for a little bit, and then when it dropped on PS4, I tried it out a little bit. It's not something I got super invested into, but I thought it was worth noting as well. A little bit of a bummer there, but hey, that's kind of the cycle of life in the free-to-play gaming world that we kind of go through, and the multiplayer gaming world in general. But that is going to do it for me. Again, as far as God of War Ragnarok, I would expect 2022, unless it's absolute disaster. Like, again, when you look at it, the game has pretty much been delayed for a year as it is, if we're assuming a fall 2022 release window. I don't think they're going to need any more time doing that, but we'll see how things turn out. Skate 4, I'm incredibly excited about, and what Jeff Grubb has laid out makes me even more excited. And unfortunately, Terra will be shutting down its servers come this June. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.